Good morning. Will Mosley here. I just want to go over this entire film that I created. I wanted to do this as a kind of live Q&A kind of session, but as with the Mosley household, it is a little bit too late in the morning. Kids will be waking up really soon, all that stuff. So I figured I'd just kind of jump on here and at least kind of give my overall thoughts on the entire film, and just kind of step by step through through it. So there's honestly not that much. If you look here at the timeline, there's honestly not that much going on that's crazy complex. All we really have is if you kind of dial this down and just kind of make these not. If you dial it down, it's really just one clip after the other and then some music underneath. The only thing that's really happening that you don't really see from that is we're pretty much just using audio. We're pretty much just using J-cuts. So if we kind of click play here, I'm not sure if it's going through my... Okay, sound is doing that. Input, output. Says it's doing that, so hopefully everything is going great on that end. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Can't tell if our audio is playing or not. Yeah, so I got audio there. Let me see. Let me kind of jump a little further. It sounds as though the audio is coming through my computer speakers. Let me check this. No? It's just really low. That's what's happening. I got it. It's going through the P4, but it's not. There we go. That's a little better.
Will die.
Okay. I think you guys could hear it, but I don't think I could hear it on my end. So pretty much it's just very simple J-cuts. All that's happening here is I'll end up taking it, and then if there's not that much of the scene, like you see I haven't even started walking yet in there, I'll kind of get rid of that until I am almost in the scene, and then I'll keep the audio and then bring the audio up so that it transitions really well. So that's what this sounds like. I had a little bit before this where I recorded. I was in my underwear. I, obviously cut that. But that's kind of one of those things you got to make sure that you're dressed and the kids are semi-dressed too, if you want to kind of include them in the film. So moving on, I actually recorded a film previous that day. This is very simple, just talking head, just about what I've been going through. So it's actually the same day, and I just had enough in my mind. Like I talked to some really close friends, And I think all of this was really just causing me a lot of stress. I got a cat that sneezes. So, what mic am I using? I'm not using any mic at all, like none. It's just the camera. What I find is when you're doing like silent films, like all of the other things that are going on are actually ambience, which is actually a really good thing for the film. Like the whole thing is environment. So I don't use a mic. Also, I film vertical, or at least this film is filmed vertical. And if you attach a mic to it, the mic is going to get in the way of the keeping it straight down, flush, on the just straight flush. What camera do I use? Let's see, Canon SL3 was on. It's a very basic, purchased 3 times. Just a very basic Canon Rebel SL3. It really does the trick. It's about $500, $600. Let's see. And I love this camera. I've actually bought this camera 4 times. If I'm not mistaken. Anyways, and then I use for the lens, I use Canon, or not Canon, it's a Takino. Let me look at the name. It is the 10-220 Tokani 20 Canon. So no, that's the old version. There's a new version, newer. I don't know what the real difference is between the old version, newer model right here. So this is what I use. You can see I actually bought it together with the SL3. Love this lens. There are pros and cons to it though, where the minimum focus distance is not that great. Like, I think, let's see if they have it on here. Minimum focus distance, max focus distance, minimum. I'm sure they have it on here, but like the minimum focus distance is like roughly 1 foot, or a little, maybe like a foot, and it just, you can't get as close as I'd like to. Take it that it's a wide angle lens, or sorry, 11-20. It's a wide angle lens. You know what I mean? Like, you're asking for a lot with getting it just down to 11. This is crop sensor, by the way. But so you trade off. I didn't use a tripod for this film. I didn't use lights for this film. I just used the camera base, memory card. And this was on purpose. This is a testament to say, yes, I can do this. No, I don't need all this other stuff that's around me. So what I'm doing is really simple. I'll flip the camera upside down. I'll use manual focus to focus on to whatever it is that wherever I am going to be. So a lot of times I can tell, right? So I did manual focus to where the cards were. So I knew that I needed to stand when I go over. I'll stand by the cards. I knew that I would be in focus. Or if it's over, let's see, or like a person, when you're looking at a person, you can manual focus, and I have what's called peak focusing. And it will allow you to see yellow or red or blue for what's in focus and what isn't in focus. And it's beautiful. It's way better than autofocus, because you have just like that guarantee that what it is, that the intent that you're trying to make it's there. So yeah. Then you'll see like a push in right here. You see how this kind of pushes in. This is a very simple motion effect that I created. It's extremely simple. It's pretty much just, I call it WM zoom in and WM zoom out. But all it is, I literally can show you how to do it right this second, because it's like that simple. All it is you have whatever it is, the thing that you're trying to manipulate, which this is just, it knows when you go into Final Cut that whatever you drag it on top of, that's the source. Then you go over to Inspector, Properties. I actually got to click on this. Properties. And all this is doing is saying, okay, from the very start of it, we want to keyframe this to be from 100%. And then we want to go all the way to the very end of this. And then we want to keyframe it to be 110%. And then that's it. You literally just save the effect, and then it will automatically pop up. So if I name this whatever, it's going to pop up in the category Will Mosley, and then you can publish it, and that's it. And so when you come over here to Final Cut, if you look for video effects, Will Mosley, that's where that category thing is. You can create your own category. And then the stuff that I've created inside of it, say, just automatically kind of transfers over. That's all that is. Same thing for zoom out. You can see it up here. That's the effect. Now, we get some chocolate milk. A lot of drinks do have sugar.
So did not water got sugar.
So we told Eden that fishies live in his body, and that he needs to feed his fishies, or the fishies will die. This is facts. It's interesting when as you film. I found when I was just listening to this whole film back, I can hear it, but I don't exactly hear everything or understand every like inflation of everything. You know what I mean? Like it's super meta. So as I was just kind of listening to this back, it just kind of like I don't know, maybe me feel a little fuzzy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. I need to get Eden on his Zoom, and then I will be back to continue with the rest of the stream, or at least until the kids wake up. Okay, we are back. So yeah, very simple elements of the film, but the creative execution, you have to really, think and move the camera. You can't just stay in the same spot. So this is why I wanted this challenge.
Okay.
Mom, we should cook something really short, a recipe.
Yeah. I always know how to cook our recipe.
Yeah, Mom is very smart about cooking. So if it's handheld, I don't use like the zoom in or zoom out effect because it just makes it too kind of wobbly. But if it's a fixed shot, I can just do that, and it looks real good. Just a nice little 10% in. This was pretty funny. Yeah, maybe we don't make another baby.
How about we make four, but 2 more boys and we got.
Yeah, no more babies. No more babies. It'd be bad. Like the audio underneath. So let's talk a little about that real quick. Is just from MusicBed. And I kind of took an easy route this go around. It's actually supposed to be, say, look here. This is actually Saturday the 27th. Sometimes when I name these, they'll be named the next day, and then my brain thinks that that's the day. But yeah, so this is from MusicBed. If you look over here, I took a really, really, really easy way this go around. Next time I'll kind of do a little bit better sourcing, but I pretty much went all the way down to Craig Adams' playlist. Oops. Filmmakers. And just listened to several of them and then downloaded them. I love his films. I just overall enjoy how he's going about doing everything. It's like cutting out a lot of stuff, and then when you're doing like these what he calls silent films or whatever, let's kind of click into this real quick.
To support local restaurants, we've been to every city, including Little Rock. And even
just like all he's doing is really just going about his day and showing it in a cinematic way, but he's not trying to talk to the camera. He's not trying to it just is there. And it really works. It really works because what happens is you make the other person kind of be a little more introspective. They have to look, pay attention, and kind of just be there in the moment with you. And then in the end, you can actually, talk all you want. Like right now, I'm talking about this film a lot. And I think both are very valuable because you're talking about the entire experience. And I have as much time as I want to just kind of go over it without being rushed by the limits of 5-minute or 10-minute films. Also, when you're editing these, when I say it's extremely simple, it's extremely simple. It's just this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And you're just using some J-cuts to make the audio a little bit cleaner. I'll show you why you need to use some J-cuts in a minute. Let's see, this is pretty much me uploading to YouTube. I had a little bit of anxiety over uploading this. When I recorded that film, it was supposed to be using the P4. I wanted the audio to be great, but of course, something happened with the write on the card, and it didn't work. I wanted a win. I wanted a good one to be pushed up, but I had to kind of just let all that go, and I'm glad I did. Now, what's really interesting about these films is I'll upload my films to YouTube, And they'll get, let's see, I'll show you. It's kind of be, they'll get a couple of views. Like, look at this right here. Like, nothingness. So if you look, views, 3. Average duration watched, 8 minutes. And if you go off of that, if you base your judgment on like the performance or how people are responding or receiving this, it can be depressing, right? You're like, oh, 3 views. Someone watched for 3 views. It's nothing. It's just, why? But the truth of the matter is that it just depends on where it is. I actually need to update this real quick. This has been bothering me. It's Saturday. So you see YouTube for 3 views, but if you go over to Instagram, what I did was I chopped up this entire film. So you'll see this project called Vertical. Very simple. It's a vertical film. And what I did was I created I pretty much just pulled the final film in. This is the final film. And then I have a compounding clip. Just, you have to have a compounding clip on top of the thing so that I can delete this anytime and it won't mess up the other stuff. And then once I did that, then over top of the entire ready, every 15 seconds, I made a new compound clip and just named it VO1 or VO5, 06, 07, and then exported that. I then airdropped that to my phone, and then I created reels with that. So if you come over here, right, you look at these reels, and I think this is part of also Instagram's kind of like, it's fuzzy. But remember, 3 views right here somewhere, whatever. But if you come over here to Instagram, this first one right here has 2,480 views, and it's the same film, just a little bit different. It's the same instant. Yeah, bub. Okay. We're trying out different headphones with Eden because, like, it's just a mess. Anyways, 3 views versus 2,480 views is not like a 10-time difference, nor I don't even think 100-time, maybe it's 100-time difference. But that's, like, insane. I don't think it's actually playing any audio. If it is playing audio, I can't tell. I don't know if it's because the audio is not coming from this thing or what, but I'm pretty sure that it definitely had the audio whenever I recorded it through. So the only thing that's different about this is that I added a little caption. Sometimes Matt was cranky, sometimes he squishers. And then I added a little Bitmoji, which does make it more relevant to other people as they're looking at it. Same thing with this. Breaking down the studio because it's causing me anxiety, and then I have like a little Bitmoji there. Like nothing insanely special. 55 people liked it, but you can't. And then you gotta look here, right? So these are 88, 89, 89, 84. You gotta understand that every platform is different, and putting your stuff on different places, it's going to get different impact. And you also, with that, the numbers, they're cool, right? Or they're depressing, but neither of them should have a say on whether you should create or not. And that's where I've kind of having to kind of just get over this whole thing of just, I mean, that's cool that it performed well. That's cool that it didn't perform well here. It's still the same content, and it's still wonderful and beautiful. So what I do when I cut these up, and I'll jump back to the film in just a second. What I do when I cut these up is I literally just every 15 seconds I watch it and see if there's anything that's relatable that I can think of that makes sense. And then put a caption with that, and then put a Bitmoji that makes sense. And it vibes pretty well. It does really well. I then add that to my add it all as a story, not the written ones, but just the entire film itself broken up into these 15-second clips. Yeah. So that's how I'm kind of translating that. Usually I do it in squares for like regular non-vertical films, but this is a vertical film. Onward. But yeah. The music underneath is just like really just nice soft undertones of just like chill vibes. Yeah. Thank you. I needed that.
And you watch your timer now.
Thank you, King.
And sometimes I stick in houses too.
So it's very simple, but like if you were to not allow us to do this,
King, I've had the boss.
you see that? You hear that?
King, I've had the boss.
Just all of a sudden it's like extra talking over, or even just like this is just gonna make it like a pop, almost like a little. This may not because it's like low and low, but
And sometimes I stick.
you see how that you hear that transition, that shh. You can get rid of all that easily by just fading it upward in. And I use this one. I don't like the linear. I don't like the S curve is okay. 3, this one, don't like that one. I like this one. It seems to do the best at pulling it in as I want it to. Do 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 do.
In houses too.
No, not houses. You don't have to have a house to have a.
I want to say
Job.
houses, honey.
Wow. Just gotta pause for a minute. King is starting his first orientation at kindergarten. It is like hitting me hard, hitting me real good. I am super ecstatic about it. Like, I was like tearful right now. It's like, Jesus. Here, I'm gonna airdrop this up so you can see it. Oh man. Just amazing. I don't know. Like, absolutely amazing. Look at him. This is literally just a couple minutes ago. Like, just starting the orientation, getting in there. He won't be in there until like August or whatever. But like he's growing up. The guy's growing up. Oh man. All right. Let's see.
No.
So this is how I and this is only, my MacBook isn't 16 by 9. It's a 13-inch MacBook. So every time I make a thumbnail, I have to kind of, if I take a screenshot or something or have a photo, I usually have to take it and then airdrop it over to my phone, crop it, and then re-airdrop it back over. But, like, I mean, you do what you do. So the mess there, just literally like the keyboard. If you look at the keyboard right there, Titan grabbed the keyboard. You see he's grabbing it. and knocked it all over. I had like tea that almost flooded the MacBook. It wouldn't have been good. So how do I plan what I'm going to film? When you're doing like these type of films, like there's a lot of other type of films, you think about the shot list. You think about, okay, I need to get this shot. I need to do this. I need to do this. But this is entirely different. You pretty much, it's whatever it is that you're doing. That's the thing. And it's like, it's almost, you're looking for change. You're looking for progression. So if I'm sitting at the same place for forever, I'm not going to like record that. But when I move or go somewhere else, I'll try to take a moment to kind of record some of that and do that. Can it get tiring? Can it get exhausting? Yeah, of course it can. You just kind of aim and do your best. If you look here, I recorded 131 clips throughout the day. So, I don't know. Let's try to do the math. Let me see. Is there a calculator on here? I doubt it. Oh, there is actually a calculator. I didn't know that on the Mac. So if there are 24 hours in a day and 60 minutes, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's see. The amount of time right there is it says it's 19. Does it say 19? Let's see in total amount. Total amount is 1 hour. Okay, there you go. So total amount is 1 hour. So I recorded roughly 1 hour out of the day. So 1/24 of my day, if you really think about it, but if you count sleep. Anyways. Onward. One second, Eden needs help with the iPad. You got it, Eden? Okay, back. So, yeah, I think the whole point of this right here, like just in general, is to be able to just riff about all this stuff. So now I'm like taking down the light. Like, this is tough for me because I love this light. I love this light. It does an amazing job. House is getting a little more active, so we'll see how much longer I can be on this for. But I just want to use this as a way to be able to talk about my process, share very transparently like everything that I'm doing to make these type of films, and like I said, rift. You know what I mean? So packing that up. Like, this light is amazing. It produces really, really, really good light. But what this whole studio, the whole point of this whole thing is, it's been making me feel a bit trapped. And like the lighting in my house is not the greatest. It's all these different excuses that I've been telling myself that has forced me to not actually use my space to share my life. Like, showing just a section of the dining room is just not my style. Like, it's okay. Like a lot of people, plenty of people, like Caleb Pike, like just use like their, well, he has a studio now, but like used to use like his basement, and that was it. And his videos looked beautiful and amazing. But I want to share a bit more. Like, that's just kind of my own thing. So how do I do this, right? How did I go from rolling this to all of a sudden rolling again? Pretty simple. So if we look at this entire clip, this is what happens. I go from the camera to go do the thing. Roll. Okay, stop. Walk back to the camera. Then, show the rest of this. Then set the camera down where I want it. Okay, start the roll again. And find a good cutting place where it just kind of makes sense, where it's good. Notice that I used that information that would not be good for the clip still underneath for the audio. The audio is fine. That's good for ramp. Good for you to kind of come up. But yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Very simple. Same thing here. If you look back, I'm going all the way from the camera, all the way over and doing it, and then walking all the way back. But it's not hard. It's not hard at all. You just set it down. You keep the ISO as low as you can without underexposing to the max. I think my films are typically like one stop underexposed, and I'm okay with that. I think it looks good. I think it looks fine. And I know it looks a little bit more moodier, but it allows me to keep a lot less grain out. My settings as far as the camera goes, look back over here. I don't know why it's showing that. Anyways, typically I'm shooting at 11 and changes, it fluctuates. I actually love my 17 to 50 mil. That thing is a beast because it's the minimum focus distance is it's much different. It just looks better, I feel like, but this gets much wider. Like this is wide and I need the wide for what I'm doing. But as far as the camera goes, all it is you see if they have a back to it. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if they show up. No, they don't. All it is flipped, face down or flipped. Let me just kind of keep it on there. All it is, I'm keeping my ISO roughly to 200, 400, 800 max, and then I'll have the white balance because my lights in my house are absolutely crazy. I go from tungsten to incandescent to sunlight. Like it just is like the lights all over the place. So I actually keep it on auto white balance in my house because it just I'm changing, the lights are changing too much as I go between different environments. I do have it set to white priority. I actually just set that yesterday. This was not done for this film. But I do have it set to that now. So what that does is it sees what the main priority, the main light is, and then it converts that to white, and then it balances everything off of that. It can give you some weird looking looks sometimes, but most times you're actually looking to have like that white balance, unless you want the ambiance. And then as far as my shutter goes, shutter is 60, because I record in 29 point blah 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 frames per second. And then my and then I use focus peaking. So what is focus peaking? I talked about this a couple times. Focus peaking. What is focus peaking? See if I have a good example of it. Yeah, there you go. Like you see how there's like that red right there? That's what happens. Like when you zoom in, when you focus your wheel, it'll go back and forth. And you can see where something's in focus at. And then you can just use that. It's very simple. I love it. It's the best. Like the best. All right, moving on. Popping down that thing. These stills didn't really fit. I took a couple of photos or whatever, and these little zoom in, they didn't really fit, but I didn't feel like scratching them, so It's that. If you notice here, well, no, not here. I used a mix of the Canon SL3 and a bit of my iPhone 10s Max or whatever. Yeah. This is where it started to feel good though. I was just breaking everything down. I was like, fuck it, let me just get rid of it. I don't need it. And that's really the truth of the matter is I don't need all this extra stuff. It's like cluttering my mind. Now, will I possibly come back to some stuff, or maybe so? I don't know. Possibly, probably, who knows? But for now, for my mental state, like I don't need it. I just don't. This right here, like, gotta use the restroom. It's the more you can kind of just be transparent, the more you can kind of be just a human being, the more people kind of just relate with you. I found I did like I don't know. I think by this point I just was feeling good. Like, okay, getting rid of some of this stuff. I've shot this. How do I find places to put things down at, right? So if you're not using a tripod, well, how is this standing up? Real simple. I have like a couple of stools around the house. Sometimes I'll put those on there. You got to remember I got kids though. So like if you look at maybe this one, I don't know for sure. I might have put it down really fast and ran over and then ran back. I've done that for several of them because like the kids, if you notice, the kids were all the kids are there. Because I don't want the camera to get knocked down and broken. But anywhere I can find a place to sit it down at. So that was using a stool. If we come over here, this is just handheld. This was using my knee. It's handheld too. This was just, I think, sat down. Yeah, this is just sitting on the table. Handheld. This is probably at the edge of the bed. Yeah, edge of the bed. I mean, just using your environment. It doesn't have, like when you get rid of the tripod's amazing. I love my tripod. But when you're able to get rid of that, you're able to add that flexibility of movement that you just would not have. You're able to just go, put it down, pick it up, go, put it down, pick it up, like very quickly and without bringing too much notice to yourself. Yeah. Lots of cereal. Roku. I have such love, hate. More hate with Roku's app. Like, most of our TVs are Roku's, and like, I hate the switch between devices thing. I try, and a lot of times it gets stuck. It's just kind of annoying. I'm gonna jump through the rest of this because I know that my time is running out. I would like to kind of step by step each of these things. Let's try to do that real quick. See if I can kind of see if there's anything. Oh yeah, the pink socks. I was digging that. I was actually digging that outfit. I didn't realize how like handsome I looked until I was like looking back at the footage. I was like, oh yeah, all right. One of my favorite ones in the footage. I don't know. I just really like how that looked. How he just chilling. Baby shark. Just chilling. You gotta meet back with your teacher at 9:30. All right, let me grab you. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this. There is more to actually talk about, plenty more, but like I said, time has ran out. So I will see you on the next one. Yeah, really enjoyed this. Take care.